Hey, what's going on, everybody? Josh Cathcart back here, Hardball Academy with Hitting Done Right. For this next drill video, discussion video, I'm going to talk about creating depth without dumping the barrel. Okay, huge topic. Talked about a whole lot, creating depth in the swing, turning the barrel to be in the zone a long time, which is going to generate more bat speed and give us adjustability. But how do we go about conveying that message to young players trying to figure it out? Many times young players, as they're growing up, have been told, take your knob to the ball or take your hands to the ball. So we're combating a problem that is developed from an early age because it's not explained very well. If I come and I just literally, and kids are gonna take you literal, take my hands to the ball, it is a push. Okay, you see a lot of ex-big leaguers demonstrating this. You see a lot of coaches talk about this. But the one element that I feel like people forget to involve in that is the actual rotation and turn of the body. Okay, that is what is going to come first. The swing works from the ground up. If we are simply just taking our knob to the ball, we're going to cause a lot of push issues, a lot of steep barrels, and not much plate coverage, and in turn, not much barrel speed. Okay, so how do we go about doing this? The first thing we need to do is understand depth first dump. Okay, barrel dump would be if I get going here and as soon as I start to turn, that barrel drops down behind my rear hand or top hand. As I'm coming through and get into the turn, it drops down behind me. I want to be able to get turning, and yes, the barrel is going to be working back with this, but I can't be weak and let it get below my top hand early. It would look something like this. As I get into the turn, that barrel's working back to my rear shoulder, and now I would have the depth from back all the way through the zone. Okay, so that's the first thing. That is where the depth is created. If I was coming in and I was pushing, I don't get any depth, and my barrel is in the zone a very short amount of time. I'm going to hit a lot of cuts. I'm going to hit a lot of ground balls. Okay? So, learning and understanding that depth comes from sequence, getting into the turn, allowing that barrel to work back. There is a hand pivot move that allows this to happen. Okay? I'm going to do a demonstration or a drill here in a minute showing kind of that hand pivot idea. Maintaining the hands as we start to turn and getting into kind of this move as we're initiating. Okay, so create depth. We want to be able to have the barrel working from the back all the way out to the front without cutting, coming up, or cutting across. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead, hop into a couple drills that I like to do for this. The first one, like we talked about, is the hand pivot, okay? Some people may call this the tip and rip, all right? So we would start feet close together. That bat is gonna be pointed toward the pitcher, okay? I would go ahead and get into my hip here, go ahead and preset my coil, and then as I start to stride, I'm gonna work that barrel back as I'm turning, and then it would come into my full swing, okay? So here, and then back, into the full swing. Now, I have this tee set back just a little bit here on the plate because I'm going to use that for the next drill. You could set that and do this wherever, okay? We want to get basically even with the front foot as we land, and this is going to be a real fluid motion through. You could come and do that a couple times if you wanted, just to get the feel. But we want to make sure that we are turning. It's not just this, okay? We've got to come in here, initiate the hips and the core, and then through, okay? So that is the tip and rip. Again, to the pitcher, set the hip, stride out, make the turn, and through. For the next one, I have this set deep. You can move it up to the front of the plate if you wanted. Okay, this is going to be straight out here. It's going to be our 90 degree to the pitcher. Going to be able to coil down, and now we want to really feel like we're working off of our backside here. Our right hip for righties would be left for lefties. thinking about driving the ball the other way. Okay, what we don't want to do here is come up and come over the top of this. We want to coil down, get behind this ball, coming in this way at contact, and be able to drive it out to right center. Okay, you can start to get a little more into that, really coil down and really fire that away if you'd like. But for the ones just starting out, feeling that coil down and then working off of that right hip out toward right center. Okay, so two of my favorites. There are others. Okay, you can do all sorts of stuff where you feel that barrel work back, really to each his own. But being able to have a swing that gives you depth, plate coverage, adjustability, that is the key here. Okay, so for young players, parents, coaches, check that out on video. If you're seeing those players that are really pushing and those hands are getting away from the shoulder early, instead of looking like the hands are coming and kind of catching up, as we get that separation, hands are going to catch up and then fire through. So I hope that information helps. If there's any questions, please reach out. Check out my website for analysis, customized practice plans, upcoming camps. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Hit that like and subscribe. Y'all be good.